Meditation and Spiritual Life, Swami Yatiswarananda. Need for training to walk on the razor's edge. Many people are afraid of following the spiritual path. So beautiful. Many people are afraid of following the spiritual path. But if we have the real training, we need not be afraid of at all. Most people wouldn't take the training also because they're afraid. But this is another perspective that they've understood the value, but then is it merely a child's play to drive a motor car? You might kill yourself or the other. Is it possible for an untrained person to fly an aeroplane or to skate or ski? No. These are all dangerous sports and pastimes, but if one is properly trained, one may do all these with control and grace. Spiritual practice is extremely necessary if we want to live in the world rightly and want to make spiritual progress. In November 1882, Sri Ramakrishna, the great prophet of modern India, went to see a circus in Calcutta in the company of Rakhal, later Swami Brahmananda, and some other disciples. At the circus, there were exhibitions of various feats. One of these impressed the master greatly. A horse raced around a circular track over which large iron rings were hung at intervals. The circus rider, an English woman, stood on one foot on the horse's back, and as the horse passed under the rings, she jumped through them, always alighting on one foot on the horse's back. The horse raced around the entire circle several times, but the woman never missed the horse or lost her balance. This feat, to be sure, must have taken years of practice to accomplish. The master enjoyed it. It reminded him of what one should do in one's spiritual life. Sri Ramakrishna told one of the devotees present. Did you see how the English woman stood on one foot on her horse while it ran like lightning? How difficult a feat that must be. She must have practiced a long time. The slightest carelessness and she would break her arms or legs. She might even be killed. One faces the same difficulty leading the life of a householder. A few succeed in it through the grace of God and as a result of their spiritual practice. But most people fail. Entering the world, they become more and more involved in it. They drown in worldliness and suffer the agonies of death. A few only, like Janaka, have succeeded through the power of austerity in leading spiritual life as householders. Therefore, spiritual practice is extremely necessary. Otherwise, one cannot rightly live in the world. Not only that, one may suffer from many agonies without the balance and peace one obtains through spiritual practices. As in every walk of life, so also in spiritual life. There are dangers to be avoided and obstacles to be overcome. And do you know what is the greatest obstacle in spiritual life? It is the tendency to live a fashionable religion. That is possible so long as one does not have spiritual hunger. But when this hunger is born in the soul, one yearns for divine realization. One cannot then sit quiet. One is urged to follow the spiritual path which takes one nearer and nearer to the ultimate goal. Our teachers tell us that a human birth is a great privilege. Having attained this human birth, if a person just leads the life of an animal, it is a pity. One may read no end of books, one may listen to no end of lectures, but if one's mind is not inclined to the spiritual ideal, everything has been in vain. So, in India, the spiritual teachers tell us you must win grace, the grace of your own mind. It is not enough if we have the grace of God and the grace of a teacher. We might have been fortunate in receiving many spiritual instructions, but unless we have the grace of our own mind, everything comes to nothing. Our mind must be open to truth. Now, even if the mind is open to truth, even if you possess real love for the spiritual ideal, training is necessary. Good training is necessary even in worldly pursuits. We cannot do work of any kind without the necessary education and practice. And the same is true of spiritual life. Here is an anecdote to illustrate the point. A young man who had no special training was over anxious to get a position as an executive, and he went to a bank, saw one of the vice presidents, and told him he would like very much to get a good job, the job of an executive. The official who was interviewing the young man said, "I am sorry, we have none. We already have 12 vice presidents." The young man, undaunted, replied, "I have no superstition about the number, but I don't mind becoming the 13th. Well, vice presidents are not made that way. They are to be trained. Similarly, if you want to attain the highest goal, if you want to walk on the edge of the razor, you need special training. You will be cut into pieces if you make an attempt without it. But if you are properly trained, there is absolutely no fear, and you may even find pleasure in walking on the edge of the razor." We all know what happens to a weak electric wire when a high voltage electric current is passed through it. The wire will burn up. Similarly, when without proper preparation we want to be in tune with the cosmic spirit, so great will the pressure be that our body, our nerves, our mind will not be able to bear it. It is a fact. So, in order to follow the spiritual path, we need a strong body, a strong mind, and intellect, and strong senses. So, these strong body, this and that, mind, intellect, senses, requires constant training to remain strong. Otherwise, all our struggle will end in failure.